We're underway. Lady Lions have the game's first possession. And Page quickly inside. And really 2-0 lead for the Lady Lions. Here come the Lady Eagles. McGill, and a turnover by the sophomore guard from Marietta, Oklahoma. I was talking to Coach Mark Arthur before the game, John, and he said we got to keep 35 off the glass. 35 meaning Charity Page, and we got to guard those shooters. And speaking of Bethany Kroc and Taylor Hill, that's going to be their formula today. Keep Charity quiet inside and really put a hand in the eyes in the face of your Megan Beckers, your Crocs, and your Hills. Which that's a pretty, oh, there's a shoe loss. Pretty good formula for a team like Phillips has gathered together. First bucket goes in for the Lady Eagles.
And that was good work. Lady Eagles not giving up and playing good defense to get that fast break started. Didn't get the score on the fast break, but kept trying. Got a couple rebounds and tipped it back in.
Here's Charity. And she gets it to fall. Quick 4-2 lead for the Lady Lions under first-year head coach Tiffany Phillips. 2 first-year coaches here. A little story about Mark Arthur you might find interesting, Mr. Cookman. He was, for 20 years, the head coach of the men's team at Southwestern Christian. 25 years total, spent 5 years as an assistant and 20 years as head coach. Is also the athletic director at SWC and was basically asked to take over the women. There was a coaching change, and so he filled in for the women, and the ladies love him so much. They're like, please, administration, make this guy be our head coach. We love him so much. So he's going to stay on the bench, and he's transitioning from the men's to the women's side at the school. And in the meantime, he's hired a coach to take over the Eagles, and it's none other than the legendary coach, Dave Bliss.
Wow, yeah, I saw that in our scouting report, and I was wondering if that was the same guy.
It is indeed.
Pretty cool, and it's paying off. Their men's team is on fire right now.
We'll see them in game 2 beginning around 8 o'clock tonight.
Another great matchup on paper. It's very similar. 2 different approaches, but very similar in the output.
Here's Kroc, had 2 big threes earlier. She's inside the three-point line there. Shot is no good, but she's scraping as usual for a rebound. She's everywhere. And finally a tie-up.
Always. Bethany Kroc just never says die. I mean, the Energizer Bunny has nothing on her at all. She is amazing in her tenacity and willpower to go get the ball and make things happen.
Senior from San Antonio will be a difference maker today. Still 4-2, been stuck here for a while. Lady Eagles reverse it over right side, now inside to White, skips it back outside in the wing. That shot's well short off Elior Johnson's hands. Hill sets up shop, crosses midcourt. Ward gets it inside to Page. Just what you didn't want to happen if you're head coach Mark Arthur. Got to keep Page off the boards, offensive and defensive. She makes them pay right there.
Looks like Adriana White got a little bit of shoulder to the teeth and got knocked down. She wasn't asking for the foul, just kind of stunned her, though, as a good no call.
And another turnover. Here's Hill, the senior. Had a quiet couple games, John. What do you think? You've seen her play. What do you think is different about her game right now? She fires up a 3-ball, misses that one.
Different as compared to what?
Well, just making big baskets at the right time and staying on the floor in in the fourth quarter. We've been seeing her on the bench now. She has had some ankle injuries, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just
Yep.
some nagging injuries.
She is, and it's that time of season where those little nagging injuries, every game you come out and you're just trying to fight through it. And sometimes they become a little worse than other times. And we have seen her sit quite a few minutes because of that ankle injury that she sustained earlier in the year. But she's been doing well. She does her job. She is the leader for this team, and uh, her role as leader has stayed the same. But as the main point scorer and the person that just you had to go to, well, that's changed for her because the dynamic of the team has changed and the personnel around her has changed. That now the personnel that's on the floor all the way +2 on the bench
Can score. Absolutely.
So
that is true.
that need is not as great as it used to be for her.
It's a very good analysis, and I would tend to agree with that. Kroc fires up another 3-ball. Her second one, no good off the rim. There's Paige, an offensive putback.
She's playing super strong right now, and that's what they're going to need. Not just this game, but every game going forward. Her role is to dominate that paint on offense, and she's doing a good job tonight.
She's fronting White. Here comes Ward out on Johnson. Look at that defense by Hill out front. And White out of control, but gets bailed out.
But it wasn't as much out of control. She tripped, and it was an unintentional trip, which is not a foul. So she gets the favorable call, and it looked awkward. So can't blame the ref for blowing the whistle. But as you see in the replay here, she just kind of trips over Charity Page's feet. Actually, she traveled when we see that in the replay.
Adriana White averages 11 and a half. She's got 3. Third leading scorer for Southwestern Christian. Miranda Jans leads all scores for the season, nearly 14 at 13.7. You've got Andy McGill at 13.1, and then, of course, White at 11.4. Those are your big 3 scores today in the black jerseys. Hill over to Kroc, runs baseline, bumps into a wall in Miranda Jans. McAfee just checked in and out.
In and out
who
for
picked
McAfee.
up the offensive glass?
Really
Paige.
good shot choice.
Diggles, she's just checked in. She's fighting for the ball, and somehow here come the Lady Eagles.
Great effort right there by Andy McGill to save that ball and get it back into her teammate, Miranda Jans. So Lady Eagles have come to play today. They just got to find the bucket. Wide open
McGill, 3. Good. She's got it. Andy McGill, the sophomore from Marietta, ties it at 8.
Deadly over there. Very good shot. Great patience on Southwestern's part to work the ball around the horn and finally land on the wide open Andy McGill.
It's going to be a lot of fun today in Game 1 and Game 2. Trying to avoid, it's going to be tough for us, though, saying the word Southwestern because we've got 2 schools named Southwestern. So we'll do our best to call it SAGU and maybe SCU or SWC. But
well, we'll definitely stick with
work
SAGU.
With us. Work with us, yeah. We know we're going by SAGU for the guys in white.
Ladies in white.
Ladies in white. There's a drive right side. Tough shot. Eliora Johnson will go to the line.
I like that move by Elora. She was very determined, put her head down, and real strong dribble drive, pushing her player back. What she needs to learn to do there is not back off of that. She had made connection there, and she just needs to, instead of put up the tougher shot, keep that ball in 2 hands and go right for the backboard.
As you see her hometown up north in Canada, Toronto area. Sophomore freshman, 5'11". Played for a while at Lakeshore Collegiate Institute before coming to SCU. Diggles now gets it inside to her front court mate, Paige. Now over to Becker, who's just checked in. She can shoot. Hill now working right. Becker spins, turns, spots up Paige, finds her, and a whistle underneath.
Good work by Charity Page. Really working in that paint hard to get open. And this is a little bit of the reverse. The Eagles come in, and their game plan is to play the backside of Charity Page, where we saw last week JBU played the front side, and she annihilated that because she pushed her man out further and just created a nice tunnel to receive over the top.
And you know that Mark Arthur saw that game tape.
Absolutely.
And adjusted.
And that's the big adjustment. Not going to play over the top on Charity Page, which is a smart move.
All the way around the left side, shot off the mark. Offensive rebound will keep it right here. Elior Johnson over now.
Long three ball.
No good. Hill surveys the situation, slows it down. Knotted at 9, 2 minutes left in quarter number 1. And there's Ebony Colbert, who just checked in.
Just not a real good heads-up play by Colbert there to try to make the baseline pass when you're already maxed out in your in where you can go, and that's why you don't throw underneath like that, because the baseline is not your friend.
Ashley Prim with the ball now on over to Jans. Johnson. It's going to be well short. Somehow, wait a minute, back up. That thing went in.
Check your eyes, Mr. Price.
That looked like, can I say it, a brick. But it just kept floating, hit the front edge of the rim, and rattled through. Here's Hill for 3. Buries it.
Try to leave the prognostications to the Swami and stick to calling the game.
This didn't look good. Hill's looked good, though, and she's tied it back up at 12 apiece.
Good pass.
Nice help defense from the top.
It was great double down defense there, but it was a good cut and a great pass. Just didn't get handled well. Kind of looked like Terrell Owens in his latter years.
Becker shadowing Jans. Nearly traveled. Here's a
long
ball from Johnson. That's way off the mark. Just a bit outside of her range. It appears
that was free range right there, man. Long way.
Becker. Nice entry pass to Diggle. Stops, turns. Doesn't get the friendly roll. Now Colbert with a weak side rebound. Ward from 15. The corner, not there. Nice pivot out of pressure work by Grace Hadley off the defensive rebound. Under 20 seconds left now. Knotted at 12. Been pretty nip and tuck the whole way. And it's about 1 second differential on the shot clock. Not going to matter.
These ladies are not afraid to shoot the long ball.
5 seconds left. Hill a chance to give the Lady Lions a lead after the first quarter. Throws up a floater.
Great move.
Not there.
Just not there. Good heads up dribble drive there by Taylor Hill. That's something she does excellently. And just a little off the mark.
Early field goal shooting. Southwestern 4 of 12, 33%. And the Lions 5 of 15 for also 33%. You see some more season stats here. Miranda Jans up against Taylor Hill. Pretty close in points per game. Field goal percent's pretty close. Good advantage for Jans beyond the arc. Free throws pretty similar. Assist, Hill check mark there. Hill also has a lot more turnovers, though. Steals fairly close, a few more for Hill. This should be a good matchup in the backcourt today.
Well, this is Miranda Jans. You'll see her. She takes a lot of three-point shots, and she makes a good percentage of them, 35%. Where Taylor, that's kind of come off of her game as in the past 3 years. Taylor really relied on the three-point shot. But this year, She's doing a lot of more penetrate and
Yep.
dump
Yep.
type, playing that true point guard role. And her paper numbers, her her meaningful statistics have come down slightly, but um, what she does really well for the team has really gone off the charts this year, and that's why these ladies are feeling that success. The role players, and that's what you need. You need your role players to play their role. I know that sounds a little elementary, but Bill Belichick says it well. Just do your job.
You always get a Belichick mention in every broadcast on the SAGU Sports Network.
And a Brady.
I'm
There
waiting
will
for
be a Brady
I'm waiting for the
coming.
Twitters to come in, calling for this madness to stop. So go ahead, folks, let us know your displeasure of the word Belichick on our broadcast, and we'll be sure to clean up Mr. Cookman's language. The first quarter, leading scorers: Page with 7, Johnson with 6. Leading rebounder for Lady Lions, again, Page with 4, and Johnson with 4.
Well, we'll revisit that nonsense at the next time out, Mr. Price.
Lady Eagles take the lead 14-12. Looking to add to that 2-point lead. I don't think there's been more than a 3-point lead the entire ball game. Both teams just feeling each other out still. No big runs yet. Turnover. Cross.
Nice defense. Good trap.
Has numbers. Sees Diggle.
Ooh.
Looking for Ward cutting into the paint. Ward, it was kind of thrown behind her. Now here come the Lady Eagles.
And Dottie Diggles got away with a travel. Oh, the Eagles not making the Lady Lions pay for that.
Estep a missed 3. She just checked in. Taylor Estep, a guard from Midwest City, Oklahoma.
When you're on the road and you're playing that away game in an important game like this, you have really got to size up everything you do correctly, eliminate those errors, and the Lady Eagles had the numbers there. They should have gone to the rack, created that score instead of settling for just an easy three-point shot with less percentage. You look at the numbers, a lesser percentage of the way they shoot.
Croc from 8, not there. And we'll turn it back over to the Lady Eagles. Coach Mark Arthur also has several young coaches on his bench. Jamie Huelar, his first season as assistant coach. Phyllis Hadley, her second season. And manager Perry McGill in just his second season. We want to welcome all of our folks watching from the Bethany, Oklahoma area. Glad to have your Eagles and Lady Eagles here down in Waxahachie for a Thursday night game in the Sooner. Always a fun time to watch a Sooner Athletic Conference ball game as the season begins to wrap up. We're just, just 3 games left until the season tournament begins.
And Miss Johnson had a great drive there, and I think you see she's a little tired. She gets the foul, and just stops. Basically, I think because she's tired, maybe a little frustrated from the last possession because she didn't get the foul call, and I think maybe rightfully so as in being upset because she was hammered as she went to the basket.
Ward's first free throw was off the mark. Wearing an elbow brace. Left elbow. Didn't really affect her shooting touch there. It's cut the lead to 1. Nice footwork there by White. Skips it back out to McGill. Jacqueline McKnight's in the game as well, number 15. Johnson skips it over.
Great pass. Great finish there by
finishes
McGill, but White with a great dribble drive and dish. Actually, I'm sorry, that was Laura Johnson with the dish.
And here comes some pressure in the backcourt.
That's very token. Just making sure.
Keep yourself honest.
They're keeping their defensive shape, and keeps the opponents honest.
Love that inside, outside game. Inside, outside reversal, back inside. Look at this. Well, that's the end of the game, though. I just love that ball movement.
Yep.
Ward's double team, pops out to a guard, pops it right back at the other post for the layup.
Love it. It's great teamwork, and that's the chemistry that we've been talking about. That's really been assimilating over the last month and a half.
Here's
And
pressure from the Lions. Lady Eagles able to push past midcourt, and here's a long three ball.
goodness.
That looked good coming off. It is Miranda Jans.
From the NBA three-point line.
From
Wow.
From Eric, Oklahoma, where she hails from.
Wow.
Buries the three. Here's Kroc. Oh, Barry, she answers it. Kroc picking up where she left off at our last game. She's got a smooth stroke, Mr. Cookman.
And what a big shot that was.
It just negates any momentum,
that momentum
that they could have had.
Just turned off, just like that.
Turn the spigot off. Kroc, a senior, playing like it in her final swing through.
Love the confidence that Bethany Kroc shows all the time. She misses a shot, she forgets about it instantly.
And a whistle out near the three-point line. And let's see, it's going to be on, I think it may be on Alexis McAfee. It is going to be her first. And they're going to look like well, we have a inbounds out of play. It's going to be McKnight. Nearly a steal by Kroc. Now McGill over to McKnight. There's Kroc everywhere. She just ran right around McGill. It was out hustling her, just ran out of real estate. Just ran into the out of bounds line.
She's quite inspirational to watch.
McKnight, junior guard out of Cushing, Oklahoma. Now Hadley. McGill looking for help inside, not there, swings it back left. Over to McKnight, now left side, 4 in the shot clock, long three. And that is a big time three with about 3 seconds left in the shot clock. Kind of, the play just kind of broke down and she just said, I got to put this thing up.
Miranda Jans has no conscience when the ball is in her hand.
She's got 6. The lead is 4. Kroc again. In and out, and a turnover back to the Lady Lions.
Kroc had that fire extinguisher out. Didn't actually work.
Kroc will put the pressure on McGill, denying her any ball. We'll see Lions stay in that man-to-man defense. Become accustomed to seeing. Right side now, not there. Now here's Hadley. Good straight up defense by the Lions. And finally it's stripped.
Wow.
As McGill's going to the basket. The double team came and that just kind of tripped up just enough to get a strip for Kroc. Another 3 ball. Back iron, not there.
Kroc's got to learn. She's got to be a little more patient there. Let her team be able to at least set up. She's going to take that shot. But I think there was another.
Oh, inside. Offensive putback. Excuse me, John. As Adriana White cleaned up the mess from McKnight.
I think there was another couple passes that could have been made there. Milk down the clock just a little bit.
I agree.
You can't panic. You're down at that point, 4 points. You got to just make the opportunities count. Don't panic.
Going to see Yaya Enabulele check in for the ball game. She's a junior out of Fort Worth. Kroc will take a seat on the bench.
The Lady Lions cannot afford to get away from that inside-outside type game. It's been so successful this half for the Lady Lions. Stay with it. Charity Page, Dottie Diggles, let them dominate the paint down there. They've got the size. They've got the ability. Got to let them do
what they do. Enabulele now. Working over to Becker. You're seeing some subs in the game now. 3 of the 5 players in white are off the bench for Coach Phillips in her first year.
They look for Megan Becker to set up in the corner. There it is.
You called it, but the shot was off. You'll take that look. Not a bad look.
She could have settled down and probably gone back inside there. She's coming back in off of the bench, so trying to make something happen quickly.
Nice bounce pass inside from Hadley. She found White on the left post, and White's going to go to the line.
Taylor Hill questioning the foul call, but watch, she swipes just a little bit, just a little bit. Got to stay vertical the whole time. The referees are going to get you, and that was a foul.
That is the biggest problem. My son, I've watched a lot of freshman basketball, and he's 6'3", tall, lanky kid. He just likes to take that elbow and just swat. And once you lose that verticality, you're just begging for the whistle.
Yep. Any horizontal movement is not going to pay off for you.
And a timeout on the floor. Lions down by 7 after being tied up at 12 apiece. They've only scored 6 points in the second quarter. 3:28 left in the ball game. In the first half of the ball game, I should say. So your head coach, Mark Arthur, what are you telling your team, John? You're on the road right now. You're in a logjam, 8-6 against a team that's you need to beat to kind of keep them below you. And so far, after that early push by Page, you've been able to keep the inside in check.
Well, if I'm Mark Arthur, which I'm not, obviously, so I don't suggest he listen to my advice at all. But if I'm in there, I try to create a 0-0 scenario and say, all right, ball game's tied.
In your mind, consider it tied.
That's right. Consider it tied. We got three and a half minutes, and we've got to go with all we can and try to build a lead from here.
Gotcha. Which would be more than what it would be, because they do nurse an 8-point lead now, largest of the game. And Page double team, as you saw Johnson give help to Hadley, and there came the whistle. That is just the second team foul.
And Hadley's second foul there. And she's questioning what that call was, but a little bit too much contact at the hips. They got connected down there, and Charity Page was moved out of her spot. Referees felt that was a little too much body and had to call the foul.
3 guards in for the Lions. Diggles stripped. Becker picks up the pass. That was from an out-of-bounds position, and then another missed shot. And just not liking the offensive flow right now.
Unforced turnover. Now, trying to force it when they're doubling down on Charity Page. Coach Arthur's making the adjustments, creating a double down situation on the main scorer. You've got to know that. You've got to be able to recognize and see that. That means somebody else is open.
Absolutely.
And it was. Megan Becker in the corner was wide open. So you've got to know, and you got to recognize as you're driving, oh, that lane closed down. I've got another lane coming up.
And a tip pass leads into a turnover. And a Belele left side. Pulls up. Works it over to Hill. Now, what you're seeing here is a little zone. Uh-oh.
It's tipped.
Tipped, and we'll keep it here. A zone, pack it in the zone right now to try to slow down Page, who's kind of hanging around that high post.
Yep, and Coach Phillips probably wants to get a timeout and make sure her girls are recognizing what is happening. It's creating that. This is where the 2-1-2 really comes in handy versus a 2-3. The 2-1-2 begins to spread out your defense just a little bit, but keeps bodies in the paint, multiple bodies in the paint. So that way you're able to guard from the high and the low side. So it's really creating a difficult entry pass to tonight. It'll be Charity Page, but to that center or whoever is running the paint lanes. So it's a great adjustment by Coach Mark Arthur, and I think Coach Phillips wants to make sure her club is recognizing that change.
See how they respond out of the timeout. And Belele. Really taking the point guard duties, even over Hill. A tough pass, not a good pass.
2 turnovers in a row for Emma Belele. And she needs to come out, check herself, bear down, focus, get that willpower under control, and make something happen for her Lady Lion club here.
Lady Eagles showing much more patience offensively. That was a good look. I'm not upset about that look. If you're head coach Mark Arthur, it was a good look, but off by Jans. But
Well,
they just seem to be more patient overall with the ball in their hands.
They're very confident. You can tell that the green light.
Oh my, bullet!
And that's the way you make up
The rifle
for some of the mistakes. Is you step in with confidence, you forget about them, and you now come back in and contribute. And what a great clutch shot by Anna Belele.
Got 3 off the bench.
My.
E-step from 3. She answers the bell.
These 2 girls have the green light, I dare say, anywhere past half court. Anywhere. They just step in with confidence. Love it.
Page, high post, finds Becker for 3. Off the mark, E-step.
And that's a shot that's hers. She owns that corner section and usually shoots that very well. Talking about green lights, she usually will have that green light from the corner, but she keeps missing like that. That green light will turn yellow.
In a hurry. 19 seconds left, 5 on the shot clock, another 3 ball. Wiping off the glass, it's Eliora Johnson.
Wow.
Look what I found. Found money, 10-point lead. 5 seconds left, got to get a shot up. A good look in a hurry. Hill turns, spins, in trouble, throws up a prayer. Hoping to get maybe a whistle, but didn't happen, and we're going to end the half. The Lions down 31-21, managing just 9 points in the second quarter. We were tied at 12 apiece after the first, but the Southwestern Christian University Lady Eagles able to put up 18-9, so doubling up the Lady Lions.
So what happens is you go back into the locker rooms and almost same case scenario as a month ago, and each coach says, "Remember last time."
Yeah.
Tiffany Phillips says, "Remember last time we were down 17 points. Well, it's 35-17, so 18 points. So we can do this. We can do this." The other coach says, "Remember, we were up last time. We're not going to let the comeback happen again."
Right. Yeah. It's all about that. Let's go down courtside, check in with our partner Adam Ferguson.
Thanks, Rob. I'm here with SAGU assistant coach Lauren Crenshaw. Now, Coach, tough first half. They started hitting a couple big threes there in the second quarter to put them ahead. And now Coach Phillips said something at the pregame that the second quarter has been their best quarter, and that's where they pulled ahead. What do you have to do differently defensively in the second half to kind of contain them?
We know that they're shooters. We know coming into the game that was kind of their game plan. They live and die by the 3. We just have to do a better job of getting over those screens. I think we're getting caught underneath, but we'll come out in the second half and do a better job.
Now, in the second quarter, they started running sort of like a half-court press or half-court trap defense. What do you have to do offensively to kind of get around that and kind of beat it?
I think the best thing that we can do is kind of spread that out, get into those gaps, make the passes where, of course, those gaps are, and they have to get out of it.
All right, we're looking forward to the second half. Back to you, Rob.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Adam. We'll take a break here as you see the men warming up. Game 2 of our doubleheader here on the SAGU Sports Network coming your way at the conclusion of Game 1. Lady Lions facing a 10-point hill to climb. They've done it before, as you said, John, down 18. Can they muster up a second half scheme, climb out of this hole, and improve to 9-6? One of these teams will go to 9-6. One will fall to 8-7, which is a key moment as we head down the stretch in the Sooner Athletic Conference standings. Take a quick break. Back with more for this. Stay with us right here on the SAGU Sports Network.
Yeah.